Who is reading the letter in the beginning of Act 1, Scene 5? Letter is very, very important. What does the letter reveal? In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, Lady Macbeth was reading a letter written to her by her husband Macbeth. किसने लिखा था ये लेटर? मैकबेथ ने लिखा था ये लेटर लेडी मैकबेथ को. And this introductory statement is also my first answer. Answer of the first subpart. Next, what does the letter reveal? In the letter, Macbeth informed Lady Macbeth about his meeting with the three witches on the heath on the day of success. Point number 1, I have already marked the keywords and expressions. So, Macbeth ने Lady Macbeth को क्या बताया? About his meeting with the three witches, कब? On the day of success. Next point, he also wrote about how he had come to know from the most reliable sources that the knowledge that the witches possessed was more than mortal knowledge. Point number 2, witches के पास supernatural powers थे. And ये witches जो जानते थे हम ordinary इंसान वो सब नहीं जान पाएंगे क्योंकि इन witches के पास supernatural powers है. But when he was burning with the desire of questioning them further, और बहुत कुछ मैकबेथ को जानना था इन witches से, मगर ये witches melted into air and vanished. Observe how I am using short quotations in order to write my answer. Short answer questions में भी quotations जरूर use करना. Textual reference is compulsory for your answers. Next, as he stood wrapped in the wonder of it, he was lost in his own world. There appeared on the scene the missives from King Duncan. Missives का क्या मतलब है? Messengers from King Duncan, who all hailed him as the Thane of Cawdor. सबने मैकबेथ को कैसे ग्रीट किया? सबने मैकबेथ को Thane of Cawdor कह के ग्रीट किया. By which title the weird sisters saluted him. और कुछ मिनट पहले ही witches, जो three witches थे, they've also saluted him as the Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth then mentioned how the witches greeted him as the future King of Scotland, the most important piece of information revealed by the letter. Hail, King that shall be. And for this reason, here I have quoted this. Thus, now, critical comment. Thus, the letter revealed the partial fulfillment of the prophecies. Again, critical comment, and also the possibility that the greatest is behind kingship. Kingship is behind. This is the most important section of the letter. The partial fulfillment, and after that the prophecy that Macbeth will become the King of Scotland. He conveyed this news to Lady Macbeth, his dearest partner of greatness. Another quotation, as he did not want her to lose the dues of rejoicing and remain ignorant of what greatness is promised to her. Now everything is given in the text. Read a good paraphrase and then frame your answers. He ended the letter urging her to lay it to thy heart, that is, keep it a secret. So it was a secret affair. So after number 5, point number 5, what else do we have? We also have number 6, he did not want Lady Macbeth to lose the dues of rejoicing and remain ignorant of what greatness is promised to thee. And then he ended the letter urging her, number 7, lay it to thy heart. Now everything must be mentioned in your answer. Conclusion. Therefore, the letter revealed these secretive pieces of information, fueling Lady Macbeth's ambition, spurring her to action. Macbeth's innermost thoughts are also revealed here. He asks Lady Macbeth to keep it a secret. So I am ending my answer with a proper conclusion, adding critical comments. So these are secretive पीसेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, सबसे ये लेडी मैकबेथ और मैकबेथ सबसे ये पीसेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर नहीं कर पाएंगे. एंड दिस फ्यूल्स लेडी मैकबेथ्स एम्बिशन एंड spurring her to action. Spurring का क्या मतलब है? Motivating her to take action. And Macbeth's innermost thoughts are also revealed over here. So dear students, this is question number 1, and now it's time for me to read for you question number 2. This is a long answer, 10 marks. Very, very important. What does Lady Macbeth fear about Macbeth's nature? Very, very important. Macbeth's nature, and how does she resolve to change him? So, introduction. Reading the letter written to her by Macbeth, Lady Macbeth firmly asserts that Macbeth was already the Thane of Glamis and the Thane of Cawdor, and he will surely get what has been promised to him. So, letter पढ़ के ही लेडी मैकबेथ ने क्या कहा? लेडी मैकबेथ ने अपने आप से क्या कहा? इन soliloquy उन्होंने कहा, फर्मली उन्होंने कहा, मैकबेथ तो ऑलरेडी थेन ऑफ ग्लैमिस बन चुके हैं, थेन ऑफ कॉडर भी बन चुके हैं, और अब वो श्योरली किंग ऑफ स्कॉटलैंड बनेंगे. जो प्रॉमिस किया गया है मैकबेथ को वो जरूर फुलफिल होगा. Yet now, after the introduction, yet she has fears about Macbeth's nature. So introduction में ही मैंने इस आंसर को क्वेश्चन से डायरेक्टली रिलेट कर दिया है. She has fears about Macbeth's nature, and now the most important quotation. Learn this quotation. It is too full of the milk of human kindness. और जब भी तुम ये आंसर लिखोगे तो इस quotation को जरूर लिखना properly, without any mistakes. So Macbeth's gentle and mild nature make her a little apprehensive. So दिस इज माई इंट्रोडक्शन. इंट्रोडक्शन में मैंने जो क्वेश्चन है उसके मुताबिक मैंने आंसर फ्रेम कर दिया है, इंट्रोडक्शन फ्रेम कर दिया है. एंड नाउ आई विल इलैबोरेट हर फियर्स. According to her, the difficulty is that Macbeth's character is too irresolute. Very important. Lacks resolution. Too deeply imbued with feelings of kindliness and compassion to take the nearest way. ये nearest way क्या है? Shortcut way to the realization of his ambition, that is commit regicide. अगर मैकबेथ को राजा बनना है तो किंग डंकन को मारना जरूरी है. So what is regicide? I have already discussed this in my previous videos. Regicide is the act of killing a king. So Macbeth has to commit regicide. अगर वो राजा को नहीं मारेंगे तो वो अपने आप राजा कैसे बनेंगे? Macbeth has lofty ambitions. बड़े बड़े सपने हैं. But he lacks the illness, the element of wickedness, the lack of scruples which are sometimes required to realize ambition. जो ruthlessness, जो hard-heartedness चाहिए एम्बिशन को रियलाइज करने के लिए, स्पेशली इविल एम्बिशंस को फुलफिल करने के लिए, वो लैकिंग था मैकबेथ में. He had lofty ambitions, great ambitions, but he lacked the evil nature, the element of wickedness. He wishes to fulfill his ambition without swerving, without moving away from the path of righteousness, his weakness, according to Lady Macbeth. He wanted to do this holily. A quotation from the text. Lady Macbeth thus makes a very subtle analysis of her husband's character, a critical comment. As you are writing your answers, do add critical comments one by one. So as a student of class 11 or class 12, you are expected by the council to critically analyze your texts. Macbeth is desirous of wearing the crown. वो राजा बनना चाहते हैं, मगर he will not listen to what the crown itself advises him to do. And what is the crown advising him to do? Commit regicide. अगर तुम राजा को नहीं मारोगे, तुम राजा कैसे बनोगे? तो मुझे तुम्हारा ताजपोशी कैसे होगा? He will be glad if the murder were perpetrated. अगर और कोई किंग डंकन को मार देता है तो बहुत अच्छा होगा. Automatically, without moving away, without diverting from the path of righteousness, he will become the King of Scotland. Only he does not want to be involved in the crown. He likes to profit by the result but fears to do the act which alone can bring about the result. फल, मैकबेथ फल एंजॉय करेंगे मगर वो उस क्राइम में खुद से इन्वॉल्व नहीं होंगे. सो दिस इज अ बिट स्ट्रेंज एंड दिस शोज द वीकनेस ऑफ मैकबेथ अकॉर्डिंग टू लेडी मैकबेथ. He is too kind. He is too full of human kindness, too full of the milk of human kindness. So, this is what makes Lady Macbeth apprehensive. Lady Macbeth fears this about Macbeth's nature. शायद वो ठीक से अपना जो ambition है वो fulfill नहीं कर पाएंगे. And how does she resolve to change him? Now, Lady Macbeth will play an important role in convincing Macbeth to commit regicide. How? How does she resolve to change him? Seemingly more strong-willed than Macbeth, a contrast. So, character of Lady Macbeth versus character of Macbeth. And this is also a critical comment. Seemingly more strong-willed than Macbeth, she urges Macbeth to come to her very quickly. So, to come to her quickly, I'll just adjust it so that she may be, by talking with him, inspire him with the same feelings with which she is inspired. That is, pour her spirits in thine ear. Quotation from the text. So, this is the first step. She will pour her spirits in Macbeth's ear. Moreover, she will drive away, chastise with the valor of her tongue. Look how I have used the quotations. Chastise, then with the valor of her tongue. All the scruples, fears, fancies that impedes Macbeth from securing the golden round, that is the crown. This is number 2. Step number 2 to overcome the fears of Macbeth. Help Macbeth overcome his fears. What will she do? She will chastise, drive away, whip with the valor of her tongue all the fears, the fancies that are obstacles to Macbeth's realization of his ambition. She will utter bold words of advice and encouragement to remove Macbeth's wavering thoughts. So, number 3, with the valor of her tongue. In this way, she resolves to change Macbeth so that he can seize the crown offered to him by fate and metaphysical aid. So, these are the steps that she will take. Thus, she seems to be fully aware that she will have to push Macbeth, very important critical comment, into committing the crown, and hence she is resolved to do so in Act 1, Scene 5. वो जानती थी मैकबेथ का जो नेचर है, मैकबेथ बहुत नरम स्वभाव के थे और वो इजीली कुछ क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व नहीं होने वाले हैं. इसीलिए लेडी मैकबेथ को ही इनिशिएटिव लेना पड़ेगा और मैकबेथ को पुश करना पड़ेगा into committing the crime. And what is the crime? Regicide. And hence she is resolved to do so in Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth. This is a long answer and therefore I have used 1.5 page in order to write this answer. Dear students, the length of the answers, that is going to vary depending on the question available and also on the marks allotted. Question number 3 very quickly. In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, what news does the messenger bring? How does Lady Macbeth reaction of Lady Macbeth to the messenger's news? Now, 5 marks. Short answer question है ये. In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, a messenger enters with important tidings and delivers that to Lady Macbeth. Introduction हो गया है. एक मैसेंजर है और ये मैसेंजर जो है इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज लाया है एंड ही डिलीवर्स दैट टू लेडी मैकबेथ. दिस इज व्हाट द आंसर मस्ट फोकस ऑन. He tells her, the king comes here tonight. Quotation, short आंसर में भी मैं कोटेशन जरूर ऐड करूंगी. एंड दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. न्यूज क्या है? न्यूज है द किंग कम्स हियर टुनाइट एंड देयरफॉर आई हैव कोटेड दिस पर्टिकुलर लाइन. सो किंग डंकन इज अराइविंग शॉर्टली इन इनवर्नेस एट मैकबेथ्स कैसल टू बाइंड अस फर्दर टू यू. That is where the bond of affection between them will become even stronger. So I have taken this from the previous scene. He also informs her. So this is the first piece of information, that the king comes here tonight. And now the second piece of information, the arrival of Macbeth to prove to her that the news is really true. He has got this news from a fellow messenger who came quicker than Macbeth. In fact, he has come so fast that he is panting for breath. So this is news number 3. So एक और मैसेंजर ने इस न्यूज को इस मैसेंजर को कहा था और इस मैसेंजर ने आके ये लेडी मैकबेथ को डिलीवर कर दिया है. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट सब पार्ट. दिस इज द फर्स्ट आंसर. एंड नाउ हाउ डज लेडी मैकबेथ रिएक्ट? रिएक्शन ऑफ लेडी मैकबेथ. Initially, Lady Macbeth does not believe the messenger. She says, "Thou art mad to say it. Thou art mad to say it." Another important quotation. To Lady Macbeth, absorbed as she is in thoughts of murdering Duncan. Remember? Just a little while ago, she was speaking to herself. Soliloquy, जो हमने देखा पिछले आंसर्स में. So, she is here interrupted by this messenger. So, Lady Macbeth was lost in her own thoughts of murdering Duncan. And suddenly, the messenger comes and delivers this news. So to Lady Macbeth, absorbed as she is in thoughts of murdering Duncan, this news is too good to be true and therefore she initially does not believe the messenger. She breaks out into a startled statement. She was surprised. और उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने क्या कह डाला? Thou art mad to say it. पागल हो क्या तुम? She wanted this to happen. King Duncan is coming to their castle. Brilliant. But instantly is nervous lest her excitement reveal more than it ought. तो वो अपने जो फीलिंग से इनरमोस्ट फीलिंग से एक्साइटमेंट है वो रिवील नहीं करना चाहती थी बिफोर द मैसेंजर. शी देन ट्राइज टू बी मॉडरेट. शी देन ट्राइज टू moderate her excitement and asks the messenger if the king is being accompanied by Macbeth. She feels that Macbeth surely would have informed her beforehand so that she may make preparations to welcome King Duncan. So, she is surprised, she is startled, but she controls herself because she does not want to reveal much that she has evil thoughts in her mind. So, a conclusion now. She is happy to receive the great news. She is excited, she is happy, and according to her, the breathless messenger is like a raven foretelling the murder of Duncan. So, सब कुछ confirm हो गया था. मन में लेडी मैकबेथ जो थी वो किंग डंकन को मारने के लिए वो एक प्लान बना रही थी. और जब ये मैसेंजर आके एक दूसरे मैसेंजर क्या कहा उस न्यूज को लेडी मैकबेथ को बताया, तब लेडी मैकबेथ को पूरा यकीन हो गया किंग डंकन अब आएंगे हमारे कैसल में और यहां से जिंदा वापस नहीं लौटने वाले हैं. So her reaction thus reveals her evil nature and wicked intention. So a critical comment at the end. Evil nature, she will utilize this situation to the fullest. She will murder King Duncan in her castle and these are her wicked intentions. So 1 page for your 5 marks answer. Now let me see question number 4. Again, long answer question, 10 marks. In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, what does Lady Macbeth ask the spirits to do for her? Again, a very, very important question. Learn this answer properly. And what does this reveal about her character? Dear students, if you are revising this scene, Act 1, Scene 5, learn the character sketch of Lady Macbeth. Xavier Pinto में भी ये एक short answer question है. Act 1, Scene 5 में Lady Macbeth's character sketch is therefore important. And after going through my multi-purpose answers, I am sure you will be able to answer all questions properly. A thorough revision is being done now by you. Come on. So, spirits. In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, the news of the fatal entrance of Duncan at Inverness is great news to Lady Macbeth. Seemingly more strong-willed than Macbeth, she invokes, directly related to the question, introduction में ही, she invokes the spirits of evil that implant murderous motives in human minds to help her. वो help चाहती थी. Spirits, evil spirits, आके मुझे help करो. क्यों help करो? Because she wanted to execute her deadly plans, evil plans. First, उन्होंने क्या कहा? To help her. Second, उन्होंने क्या कहा? She wants them to unsex her. Quote this. Bereft of all her tenderness as a woman, she desires to be stuffed from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Number 3. आओ मुझे और cruel बनाओ. ऊपर से नीचे तक मैं एक monstrous इंसान बनना चाहती हूँ. Drive away all the tenderness that I have as a woman. So, next, let her normal sensibilities die away. Normal sensibilities as a woman die away. क्यों? So that she commits the horrid crime, she may not feel the ghastliness of it. रेजिसाइड कमिट करना कोई ऑर्डिनरी बात नहीं है. ये एक बहुत घास्टली और एक बहुत हीनस क्राइम है. और इसीलिए लेडी मैकबेथ अपना जो नॉर्मल सेंसिबिलिटीज है उन सब से छुटकारा पाना चाहती है. इसीलिए उन्होंने इन स्पिरिट्स ऑफ इविल को अपने आप को उन्होंने सौंप दिया है. वो उनके वश में जाना चाहती है. And let also the currents of pity that flow in her blood be cut off. Make my blood thick. Number 5. Be cut off, for it will stop up the access and passage to remorse. Number 5. Thicken blood, and this will stop the access and passage to remorse. Number 6. She does not want to feel guilty. वो किंग डंकन को मारना चाहती है मगर वो नहीं चाहती इसके बारे में बाद में उनको कोई गिल्ट फीलिंग हो या उनको बुरा लगे. She is particularly keen that a remorseful conscience might not stand in the way of her resolution to perpetrate the murder and of her achieving the object. अभी तक लेडी मैकबेथ ने नहीं कहा है वो खुद से मर्डर करने वाली है. यहाँ पे वो सिर्फ मैकबेथ को पुश करने के लिए अब तक उन्होंने डिसाइड किया हुआ है, मगर उन्हें ये डर है शायद मैकबेथ ठीक से ये काम नहीं कर पाएंगे. So here we do not have any direct reference that Lady Macbeth is going to commit the regicide herself, but she is preparing for the horrid crime here, and therefore she is invoking the spirits. She also invokes them. So number 7, this is number 7, and then she also invokes them to come to her woman's breast and take her milk for gall. Very, very important quotation. She addresses them as murdering ministers and asks them to transform her into what? Into a hard-hearted criminal. So, this is what Lady Macbeth asks the spirits to do for her. One after the other, write all the points. Thus, Lady Macbeth's words to the spirits reveal her character. The second subpart. Character sketch now. Character analysis. she resolves to put her natural femininity aside so that she can do the bloody deeds necessary to seize the crown. When the audience first see her, जब हम उनको first देखते हैं, first appearance of Lady Macbeth, तो हमें क्या पता चलता है, हमें as an audience क्या लगता है? That she is very evil, she is cold-blooded and she is ruthless. So when the audience first see her, और जब वो ये सारी चीजें सुनते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं, तो उन्हें लगता है कि लेडी मैकबेथ is already plotting Duncan's murder, and she appears to be stronger, more ruthless, more ambitious, and even more resolute than Macbeth. Very important contrast between Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. Add this contrast in your answer. Lady Macbeth का जो reaction है वो दूसरा है, Macbeth का जो reaction है दूसरा है. So this contrast must be highlighted in your answer. Unlike another contrast, Macbeth's nature, her nature is not too full of the milk of human kindness. This is one of the most important quotations from this scene. She seems aware of Macbeth's wavering nature and knows that she will have to push Macbeth into committing murder. She is very excited after reading Macbeth's letter, and at one point later in the play she wishes that she were not a woman so that she could do it herself. So gender is another important theme of this. Gender and power is another important theme of the play. तो मैं डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगी इसमें, but you must just give a passing reference to this in your answer. She wanted to shed her natural feminine sensibilities. Although she seems to be a cold-blooded monster in the soliloquy, so this is a soliloquy, जब वो spirit से बात करती है, who would go to any extremes and use all possible means to achieve her end, it is only an appearance, a critical comment. हमें लगता है वो कितनी बुरी है, वो कितनी evil है, but it is only an appearance. If you read the whole play, you will see that it is only an appearance. As the action develops, it becomes clear that she is a woman with common feminine weaknesses actually, and therefore she invokes the spirits to transform her. She is more ambitious, वो तो ठीक है, than Macbeth, but not for herself but for her husband. Thus, she is revealed as a complex character here. So this soliloquy of Lady Macbeth once again is important. In this way, in the second subpart, I have highlighted the traits, the features of Lady Macbeth's character as revealed in this section. Stronger, more ruthless, more ambitious, more resolute. Magar, after all, she also has her common feminine weaknesses, and we'll know about that later in the play as the plot develops. So, another 10 marks question. Come on, dear students, go through the entire session. In Act 5, in Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, what plan does Lady Macbeth propose to Macbeth? Again, very important, plan. और ये प्लान कौन प्रपोज करती है? It's Lady Macbeth. What does this reveal about both of them? You will have to speak about Macbeth's character, and you will also have to speak about Lady Macbeth's character. In Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, Lady Macbeth seems fully aware of Macbeth's wavering nature, which is too full of the milk of human kindness. The same quotation, but here I have introduced this quotation, use this quotation in the introduction. And resolutely proposes a plan. So this is what is asked in the question. Again, directly related to the question. So finish the relation point of view, the connection with the question in the introduction itself. Introduction में ही answer को question से connect कर देना. To Macbeth to realize his lofty ambitions. She has a plan. And what is the plan? This is the plan now. The fatal entrance of Duncan under her battlements and his plan to leave the next day prompt Lady Macbeth to reveal her dreadful plan. Her plan is very dreadful, bad plan, evil plan. And what is the plan? This is the plan. Quotation. Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Very, very important. अगर तुम plan के बारे में लिख रहे हो, use this quotation. Thereby revealing her murderous intentions. But she brings out the fact that Macbeth's face is as plain as open book, where men may read strange thoughts passing in his mind. He is anxious, and his anxiety may reveal his murderous intentions. She urges him to deceive the world and to beguile the time. Macbeth must look like the time. Quotation from the text, textual reference. This is long answer question, so you will have to elaborate your points with the help of textual reference. His looks, his gestures, his words must all suggest that he is happy in welcoming Duncan. मैकबेथ को अपना जो रियल फीलिंग से, जो मॉरल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, जो मेंटल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, उसे हाइड करके चीयरफुल दिखना है और उन्हें जताना है लोगों को वो बहुत खुश है इन वेलकमिंग डंकन. दिस इज लेडी मैकबेथ्स प्लान. So he should look innocent like a flower, but be treacherous like the serpent hidden underneath. Appearance versus reality. She also proposes. So this is her plan. Learn the plan properly. Very, very important question. Next, she proposes that King Duncan must be suitably provided for. She has thought about everything. Careful planning है. एक स्टेप के बाद एक स्टेप. मैकबेथ को चीयरफुल दिखना है, मैकबेथ को एंशियस नहीं दिखना है. लेडी डंकन सुबह नहीं, जो दूसरे दिन का सुबह है वो नहीं देखने वाले हैं, उससे पहले ही उन्हें खत्म कर दिया जाएगा. एंड देन बिफोर दैट किंग डंकन मस्ट बी प्रोवाइडेड फॉर. The management of the knight's great business must be entrusted upon her. The great business which will give them solely sovereign sway and masterdom. So यहाँ पे she reveals her murderous intentions. After murdering King Duncan, they will become the masters. They will become the king and queen of Scotland. Thus, this is her plan. That is, commit regicide that night itself. King Duncan will not see the daybreak, the sun rising the next day. What is the meaning of this? This means that this suggests that they are going to commit regicide that night itself. Dear students, this is how you must write your answer. One point after the other without repeating any point. Avoid repetition. Now, the second subpart, character sketch. Very important. What does this reveal about both of them? Lady Macbeth's plan reveals her ruthlessness. Very important. Her iron will resolve. Very important. Her words, only look up clear. Leave all the rest to me. सब कुछ छोड़ दो मेरे ऊपर. Just तुम cheerful दिखो. Sum up her determination to go to any extremes to achieve Macbeth's lofty ambition. She does not waste time and immediately, without wasting time, immediately she chalks out a plan and hatches a conspiracy to murder Duncan. मैकबेथ इसके बारे में सोच रहे थे, मगर उनके पास, उनके नेचर में ये नहीं था कि वो आगे बढ़ के इस क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व हो जाए इमीडिएटली एंड डायरेक्टली. तो लेडी मैकबेथ ने यहाँ पे जो पुश चाहिए मैकबेथ को, लेडी मैकबेथ प्रोवाइड कर रही है. अपीयरेंस वर्सेस रियलिटी विल प्ले अ डिटरमाइनिंग रोल. उन्होंने सिखा दिया है मैकबेथ को, लुक cheerful, appear cheerful, try to deceive the world. She is therefore shrewd, manipulative and strong here. हो गया Lady Macbeth's character sketch. Macbeth's character sketch now, one after the other. I avoid repetition. So I take up a point, I substantiate that, and then I move on to the next point. Macbeth's words, we will speak further, reveal his moral conflict, irresolution, lack of promptness. While Lady Macbeth can feel now the future in the instant, abhi karna hai hame. Macbeth seems hesitant. Macbeth says we'll speak further because he is wavering in his intention. उन्हें राजा बनना है, मगर वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं करेंगे, ऐसा कुछ क्राइम कमिट नहीं करने वाले हैं, डंकन को मारने नहीं वाले हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाई ही इज हेजिटेंट. ही हार्बर्स क्रिमिनल ambitions but would not play false. This is his weakness. Thus, there is thus a contrast between them as evident from the plan. Critical comment. Contrast. दोनों में कितना difference है. Indeed, Lady Macbeth will have to chastise Macbeth with the valor of my tongue to execute the plan successfully. A proper conclusion. What is the dramatic significance of Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth? Learn the dramatic significance of each scene, if possible. Short answer question है ये. 5 marks. Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth marks the appearance of Lady Macbeth. Very important. For the first time in the play on the scene, this appearance of Lady Macbeth makes us realize for the first time that Macbeth is not the chief protagonist. Play का नाम Macbeth है, मगर initially, at least at the incipient initial stage of the drama, Lady Macbeth appears to be the chief protagonist and it's not Macbeth. It is doubtful if he could by himself have got over his horrible imaginings and perpetrate the cold-blooded murder of King Duncan. अगर Lady Macbeth ना होती तो Macbeth क्या राजा बन पाते? So this is a question raised in the minds of the audience. The decisive stimulus, very important. The decisive stimulus का मतलब क्या है? The push comes from his wife, from her firm resolution. Character sketch में use करना ये. Her strong will, character sketch. Absolute freedom from all superstitious fear, character sketch. So go through this answer also, because this is again a multi-purpose answer. Critical analysis of the scene. Of the two characters, contrast क्या है? Lady Macbeth is certainly the more impressive. She is actuated not by any personal ambition. वो खुद रानी नहीं बनना चाहती थी, मगर she wanted to fulfill the desire. She had this desire to see her husband crowned. She was doing this for her husband. So husband-wife relationship. She is utterly devoted to her husband and his interests. Macbeth is also close to his wife and writes to her a letter about the partial fulfillment of the prophecy. So another important feature of this scene, relationship between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. So, and urges her to lay it to the heart, to thy heart. He shared his secret with Lady Macbeth. He calls her my dearest partner of greatness. Their relationship is revealed. Very important. Revealed here. However, the contrast between the two is noteworthy. Contrast भी है, मगर इन दोनों में as husband and wife बहुत एक close bond भी है. Next, number 4. The theme of appearance versus reality. Look like the flower, but be the serpent. To beguile the time. Look like the time. Be cheerful. Don't reveal your anxiety. This is the theme of appearance versus reality. Is evident when Lady Macbeth wants Macbeth to look like the time, to beguile the time. Just one textual example. Since this is a short answer question. अगर ये long answer में आता है तो और कुछ examples यहाँ पे use कर देना, add कर देना. And here we also have the soliloquies of Lady Macbeth. 5. Give us a glimpse into her mind. Thus, Act 1, Scene 5 is dramatically significant. So, this is a simple conclusion, but always end your answer with a proper conclusion, however simple it may be.